I wanted to get rid of the bird song because it just wasn't for me. I was more nervous on doing the Peter Griffin stuff than what I was playing darts. And,
wow. Only one 9-darter had been hit in a World Championship final. Before that, from you.
Listen, the aim was to hit the first one. The first ever one in the World Final. And
I love the Winter Gardens. I just think...
I think everyone will say that.
I just think the crowd's right on top of you. It's such an iconic venue. It's not too far from my house.
You know what? I was like, it's local. That's why you like it. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Checkout, a 4-part content series brought to you by AK Bet. Over the course of the series, we talk all about the Premier League, plus plenty of other storylines in darts as well. Alongside me, Stephen Bunting.
Hello.
Russ Bray.
Hi.
Hi. And Adrian Lewis as well.
Hello.
Hello. You all okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, not all.
Okay, this episode is all about the greatest. I'm not talking about greatest players. I'm talking about the greatest walk-ons, the greatest 9-darters, greatest checkouts, shirts, nicknames, all of it, okay? So let's start with the greatest walk-ons. When I say that, what springs to mind?
I'd have to say Raymond van Barneveld at Rotterdam Ahoy.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, the Barney Army, all behind him. The whole place is orange.
Sea of orange.
Yeah, it's just an unbelievable spectacle to see. And whether you're there or whether you're watching on TV, the atmosphere that generates, it just shows on the telly.
Yeah, I think about like his last ever Premier League in Rotterdam, and he was teary before he'd even sort of started walking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when you got something like that. I mean, when I done the very first Premier League there, walked on the stage and the hairs on the back of your neck stood up because it was just literally
that's right.
a sea of orange, and everyone's chanting with the Barney Army and everything. It was just just amazing. For that particular occasion, that was just out of this world. Out of this world.
It's one of those ones, there's nothing quite like it. Like the fact that, obviously there are so many people anyway, it's like 12,000 people, but they all come wearing orange.
That's
no matter
right.
What.
and it seemed like they all come for one man. So, you know.
It's just a deafening noise as well, isn't it? You can't hear yourself think, and if you're playing Raymond in that arena, then you might as well just go on.
Yeah.
Well, you're certainly 2 legs down to start with, aren't you? Goodness me.
To be fair, he still has a pretty good walk on now.
Yeah, very
when
good.
He walks out at the World.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he just walks out with a walking stick. No offence, Ray. We love you, really.
Yeah, shots fired. Other great walk-ons we talk about.
Taylor with the lightning and things like that.
But or Phil Taylor's last ever walk-on at the Worlds, where I'd say about Raymond being emotional. I mean, it was quite emotional watching Phil walk out.
Yeah,
and the crowd are singing "There's only one Phil Taylor."
That's it. Again, it's walk-ons are all about getting the crowd going again, isn't it? You know, it's that style of thing. Taylor's was just fantastic with the lightning flash. MVG where it all goes green and then starting the music and then the build up and that and then going into
Peter Wright with his Don't Stop the Party.
80 with pick bag.
Yeah,
It gets people going. I'll tell you what I do like is Ian White's.
Yeah.
Ian White's playing that funky music. You know, it's toe tapping. It's getting people going and getting the crowd going, and that's again what it's all about.
I used to like my walk on until he started shouting, "There's only one Peter Manley in it." You know what I mean? Peter Manley.
Even Peter Manley though, when we talk about walk-ons, Peter Manley come on to "Is This the Way to Amarillo?"
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, he did.
And Colt's Wayne Marnell. I mean, we mentioned him before in previous episodes. You know, he's coming on.
Brilliant one, very good one.
We talk about Barney in the Premier League, but I mean, you were a contender once. There are some super memorable contenders. Think of Willie O'Connor in Ireland. Think of John Henderson as well.
The Hendo one.
The bagpipes.
In Aberdeen, that sticks in the memory, definitely. That must have been incredible for him to walk on, and obviously the bagpipes and stuff, and just to be in Aberdeen, literally 10-15 minutes away from his house.
Roughly, yeah.
That must have just been surreal, to be honest.
It is like you watch them and you've got like goosebumps.
Yeah. It's got to be a hell of a buzz.
And then the Willie O'Connor one, Zombie. Is that with the Cranberries? Is it? Yeah. Another good tune.
But I think my first Premier League I played in Liverpool, and I come on to Family Guy. so I had.
Yeah, what is it?
There was Well, there was a girl dressed as Lois, and then I had to punch this big giant, I don't know what it was at the end. Yeah, big chicken at the end of the thing, and it was just like, wow.
I can remember once we were playing in, I think it was Glasgow, and Gary Anderson, and it was going, and then it got Gary Anderson. He's like, they aren't playing now. I was like, they are, mate. Yeah. He said, I'm not walking out of that.
But yeah, some of those, the Premier League contenders, John Henderson, just with the bagpipes and everything that came around it, but the Willie O'Connor one, because everyone was joining in with the zombie as well.
Yeah.
Like just singing
Such a
along.
powerful song.
It
as
is,
well,
yeah.
Goes to show how entertaining the game is, isn't it? And the characters that are in it. And there's so many. You know, I mean, like we've mentioned here.
And sometimes when you're on the stage as well and you're playing against an opponent, sometimes that can be a bit nerve-wracking listening to their walk-on songs. When you're waiting for them, come on. Certainly like Phil and MVG. And
especially
as soon as you hear that, you know, this is it, it's game time now.
Some of them bouncy floors on the European, you stood on the stage and the music is booming through the stage.
Stage is like shaking.
What about someone like Dirk van Duvenbode? All that, you know, I mean, it's not my style of music.
No, not mine.
Well, didn't he pull his hamstring doing that?
He did, something, didn't he? Yeah. You know, and, you know, mind you, find a lot of the Dutchies is very, very heavy.
It says all
heavy music,
techno
you
and
know.
all used to be called. I'm not sure what it's called now, but techno was the word
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
in the day.
it is.
that what it
The Dutch
is?
kind of techno, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it feels like for a good walk-on as well, to get all the crowd engaged, you almost need a song that everyone knows. Because I think of like Joe Cullen with Oasis.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago at the Worlds, it was like everyone at Ali Pali was just singing along.
We said about Nathan Aspinall
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Brightside,
And then they'd stand there singing. And of course,
Darryl Gurney.
Darryl Gurney, yeah, you know, Sweet Caroline.
And then he starts singing it. And
And that's
So
just
25
not that.
minutes
That's
later.
awesome as well.
Come on, let's get started. Yeah.
how hard is it coming up with a song?
I think it's pretty hard, obviously, to go from, I wanted to get rid of the Bird song because it just wasn't for me. I was more nervous on doing the Peter Griffin stuff than what I was playing darts. And, obviously, Titanium was my son's favourite song, but even now, getting up on
Because
that
that's such
stage,
a good one where everyone just joins in.
it's unbelievable, and I think, obviously, we talk about gaining fans, but definitely part of swapping my walk-on music has definitely helped. And obviously, you get on stage, you put your hand to your ear, everyone's singing it. I get quite emotional sometimes when I go up on the stage, and it takes me a leg or two to get into the game properly because I'm like...
Well, the Worlds especially,
choked
it
up.
feels like when you're walking on, you're up there for quite a while because you're just engaging with the crowd before you actually get going.
No, that's it, and I think obviously it's always good to interact with the crowd as well. 'Cause
Definitely.
it gets them on your side for the game, and I think the Let's Go Bunting mental sort of side of stuff started kicking off now, and they're all
I
singing.
didn't think that's what they said, actually. Thank God for that.
That has caught on though, hasn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Just like you said, the social media, the TikTok side of it, everything's all come together, and yeah, long may it continue. The fans are brilliant, and I love being on the stage. The walk-on music's a massive part of it, and yeah, to sing back to the crowd as well is a special thing.
Yeah. So the walk-on's done. Now we're going to get to the action. Greatest 9 darters ever. I feel like there's only one place to start. The World Championship final, not the one just gone, but the year before, with just the greatest leg of darts ever.
Without a doubt. I mean, the pressure that must have been on Smith after MVG's missed double 12, yeah, and he's sitting on a 9, and then go, treble 20, treble 19. I mean, what's going through your head? Goodness me, because it's that last dart you tighten up on, isn't it? Yeah. And then bang and hit it. Oh,
and the big thing about it as well, obviously Michael Van Gerwen missed the double, and Michael Smith still had the nous about him to like give him a little tap on his hand, unlucky, and then goes up and then hits it. You're like, wow.
The thing is, I think what he'd have been thinking there is, don't mess this up now on the last dart. don't just do what he's done now.
You've got this.
Not just the darts. I think the thing that makes that, and obviously that clip's been watched millions of times, but the commentary on it is
The icon's
iconic.
I'll tell you the other thing on that, and I believe this now. The reason that Michael Smith hit that well was because he's a rhythm player.
Yes.
Correct.
Dum, dum, dum. It's a boom, boom, boom. It's natural. Not boom, boom, maybe do a Rob Cross stop, kick the hockey 4 times and then go for it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think...
You're on the same, that's correct. It does help. Yeah, of course it does.
When you've hit your 9s, it's been bang, bang, bang.
And the speed of the game as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the key to, don't think just throw.
I think that's what made it such a good final, because the speed was perfect. There was no like putting each other off. They were just darts out.
They suit each other, don't they? You know, obviously with the pace.
Which is why this year's was so good as well. So look, you know, they complement each other. No mucking about. Get up there, play the game, and then walk off. You know.
That leg was so improbable. What made it even more special was the fact it was done in a World Championship final. Only one 9-darter had been hit in a World Championship final before that, from you.
Listen, the aim was to hit the first one. The first ever one in the World Final, and then...
But what a special moment.
Yeah.
Because you sort of can't beat that, can you?
I think, when you first start playing, your dream is to obviously win the world title. But I thought, right, I want to win the world title. It's a 9-darter, obviously, for win the world title. It didn't pan out like that, but...
But you said before, I'm going to win it, but I'm also going to hit a 9 in the final.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I called that, That was just a bit, it was the luck, wasn't it, really, than judgment.
If you call it, though, and you do it,
I don't know about that.
If you call it and you do it, it's special, isn't it?
I don't know. I was very lucky myself, and I called the very first 9-darter for Sky back in 2002 with Taylor against Mason at Blackpool. It was the 5th leg, actually, which is you had to break after 5. And so it was sort of naturally going in there. And for Phil to do it then, won £100,000 for it as well. Nowadays, I mean, they're $9 for fun every day, you know, so you don't get nothing for it now, just a pat on the back and well done. Well, it is, isn't it? That's what they get these days. I think they get them. If you do it off telly, you get a silver pin. If you do it on TV, you get a gold pin, 9-dart pin. But Taylor doing this one in 2002 was really, really very, very special as well. Because like I say, very first one on Sky, very first one live on British TV, on English TV. And that's Twitter 9-dart's amazing anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I've been lucky enough. I've called 9-darters in South Africa with Merv King. I called 2 in Asia with Lawrence Ilaga and Noam Licton. You know, Phil in Australia. Yeah. You know, it's so magical when you stand there. And just the other week there with little Littler, very first leg, and goes bang, bang, bang. It's annoying, you know.
Do you know that is so special as well, just for his age. The way he handled it, and he didn't look like he was going to miss at all.
No. You expected him to hit, didn't you?
You do.
He's got composure, hasn't he?
It's fantastic. So to actually pinpoint a single 9-darter, it's so special in itself that each one is very, very special.
A classic debate, especially on Twitter, is what is harder, a 9-darter, a 147 in snooker, or a hole-in-one. You play a lot of golf, actually, to be fair.
I mean, you can't fluke an hole-in-one.
Can you what?
You can fluke an hole-in-one.
Of course you can.
Of course.
Yeah, of course you can. You can
fluke a 9-darter.
You can fluke a hole-in-one, you can fluke a 147.
Yeah. Your red could go in off
you can't fluke a 9-darter. A 9-darter's got to be 9 perfect darts. It's got to hit the target 9 times. With respects to snooker, you play a lot of snooker.
I like
big snooker, the same. I mean, I'm a snooker fan, but I'm not a snooker player. But you know, you can fluke 2 or 3 to get your 147. Hole-in-one, that I would have said would be the second hardest to do. That'd be the second hardest to me personally.
Yeah. What about you?
I'd probably kind of agree with you. I think darts, because the thing is, when you've got a cue in your hand, it's resting obviously on the table for one, so you're not shaking as much. You've got a lot more stability in your action. Where when you've got a dart and you're like that and try and keep it level as you release the dart.
Plus you've got a target in the board, which
correct.
You've got deflections off and stuff. And
not only that, you're obviously moving targets as well, aren't you? You know, so.
Okay, I think we're all clear on what we think is the hardest here.
So hole-in-one's the hardest too.
Not being biased, but yeah.
The others just flukes, that's fine. Okay, that's 9-darters. Similarly to 9-darters, a little bit different though. Greatest ever checkouts. So anyone that comes to mind in terms that you've thrown, first of all?
Not particularly me. I think one of the best checkouts I've ever seen is Nathan Aspinall when he won the UK Open with the 170.
Against Rob Cross.
Yeah, I think that was a special checkout, especially to win his first maiden title.
Yeah.
That's one that sticks in the back of the mind.
Mine is Colin Lloyd. At 170 against Party to win the World Match Play at Blackpool. Again, it turns around, goes to shake his hand, and puts his head on his shoulder, gets a cuddle off a Party. To me, that was sensational to win. You know, the World Match Play Hitting a 170 shot out is any title, not 170.
What one sticks out for me was Whitlock against Caven when he took out I think it was 146, treble 19, double 16 when he was obviously on the brink of losing and it won him the match.
Yeah.
It went 10-9, yeah.
Yeah. Thinking of Simon Whitlock with 150 out with the 3 balls.
3 balls as well, obviously, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
When he's hit the 2, you're like, right, okay.
come on, yeah,
That is
come on.
naughty, yeah.
That is naughty.
I think Michael Van Gerwen's done it a few times on the Pro Tour as well. Yeah. But I think that's just rubbing it in that he can do it.
Yeah. Like, we know you can do it. What's it like when someone sort of hits a finish like that against you?
It can be a bit demoralising, to be honest. Obviously, the aim is to hit the last double. Yeah,
Exactly.
With me, it usually turns into a row.
That's for future, I think.
Like we said, back in the day, going for 2 doubles to finish would be frowned upon, but now I think it's part and parcel of the game. I think the amount of 1-3-2 finishes you see on the tour is incredible, really. Ball double 16, that's one of my favourite finishes. I never hit it, but love it.
You like have the opportunity to.
There was you've mentioned a few sort of 170 finishes. There was a 170 from Gary Anderson against you at the Worlds.
That was
you remember that one?
That was like a dagger to
Forgot
the
that
arm,
one, didn't you,
was.
mate?
Yeah, no, I didn't forget. I just didn't want straight.
Yeah, you were like 170s.
Blocked in the back here.
He's had nightmares over that 170.
Sorry.
Yes, it was the timing of it, wasn't it? It was just,
That's all right, but that's like most finishes. It all comes down to timing. Whether it's a 170 or double top, you know what I mean? If it's the importance of that particular double that you hit, you know. The harder ones, obviously, the bigger shots.
it is, a lot of golf is about timing and
The pressure in it. If you're in a 9-all game, if you're on double top, the pressure on that double, if you're both on a double, is incredible, really. And obviously, you can't get that across.
No.
But the nerves that you feel when you step up to the hockey, knowing that needs to go or you're out, is.
And you feel more pressure on, like I say, a single double. Say I don't know, you're 5-4 down and it's first to 6, and you take out a 1-5-6, for instance, and you make it 5 across. You have more pressure on the last leg for it, the single double, like a double top or a double
Don't miss that single
than what
top.
than what you. Yeah, it's so strange.
It's all, you talk about the timing, but also the manner of taking out some of the checkouts. Because I think about Phil Taylor at the match play when he took out a 1-3-2 to win, and he missed the ball with the first start, so hits the 25, then gets the treble 19. But it was like going for the ball to finish. It was like that 25 dart. It was covering the ball.
It was on an angle, wasn't it? Yes, yeah.
Totally blocked it, and it come over the side. Exactly, and that's not a 170 finish, but it's an amazing finish because
he had to move over.
He had to actually physically move.
I mean,
to get it in.
I mean,
there,
at the time it was 17-9 up.
If it was 17-17, let's see if that had
gone
gone in there.
He'd have missed the 25.
Yeah, probably. But like the manner, of some of the finishes. And you're good friends with Keith Deller, but the 138 to win that, because that was just so like, wow, he's just.
Well, the thing is, Eric obviously hit A in the league 32, didn't he? He could have gone for the bullseye, but he hit A in league 32. He didn't think he could take the 138 out, and of course he did, and he's lived off it for the last 40 years. And rightly so. And rightly Keith Deller MBE, I must say. But, in all honesty, to do that then, he then done exactly the same 3 months later in Ipswich, played Eric in an exhibition match over the same distance and took 138 out to beat him again. Wow. How about that? And that's an actual fact. Wow. Yeah. And so timing.
And that's what it comes down to, folks.
Exactly.
Right, we've talked about walk-ons, we've talked about 9-darters, checkouts. What about some of the biggest upsets that we've seen in the sport? Any that come to mind where you've been on stage during them and seen them kind of unfold in front of your eyes?
World Grand Prix in Dublin. Andy Calaby, guy that most people wouldn't even know, took Phil Taylor out first round. Painter done exactly the same in the same tournament.
Adrian Gray did.
Adrian Gray done exactly the same. 3 times that Taylor won that lost in the first round when he was out and out banger favourite to win everything. Got turned over in the first round. So that went, wow, Phil Taylor's out. Very first day or second day of the World Grand Prix. So massive upset.
It was almost like Phil Taylor going out at any stage, but even when you think about the 2018 World Championship final, losing to Rob Cross, who was there on his debut through to the final.
I mean, obviously, when I was watching that, I thought, well, Rob's just had a massive game against Van Gerwen in the semis, to see how much it's taken out of him. And I thought Phil Mark, just obviously with his experience, would have got over the line. But fair play to Rob Cross, he's it wasn't upset, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very much so.
I think Anastasia as well, when she played Vincent van der Voort, I think it was in
Grand Slam.
I think it was the Grand Slam, yeah. That was a huge upset at the time. Yeah. No one really knew about Anastasia. I think obviously Fallon
when she turned over Ted Everts and then done
Enzo was even bigger.
Yeah, who was seeded 12 at the time, I think.
He was flying, wasn't he? He was playing brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, and she turned him over. So, they are big upsets and big surprises in the game.
But it kind of shows just what pressure can do, doesn't it? Certainly when you talk about someone like Mensah that day.
Of course, when you're on stage and obviously he was playing Fallon, the crowd would have been 100% behind Fallon.
Massively.
Exactly.
The same sort of situation we talk about with Luke Littler, the crowd will always get behind him.
Yeah.
So I think, obviously, when you're on stage and you're experiencing the boos and the camaraderie of the other players and stuff, it's difficult.
It is because, like you say, sometimes when I used to play, when I first started playing Premier League, and I used to get a lot of boos myself. But you used to think, right, okay, obviously they're supporting the other guy, he's having it now. And then as soon as he started liking me and things like that, and then it's hard to get there. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, why is everybody cheering me now?
But is it quite hard to put that when they are against you? Because we see it a lot with Go and Price, and he was quite open ahead of the world, despite being a former world number one, former world champion. He was like, I'm actually quite anxious about coming here and playing, which seems crazy in one aspect. 'Cause it's like, you've won so much, just get up there, you can go and play.
It says hard for keep your concentration. I think when you're throwing in, there's the crowd obviously just it's like a a steady noise kind of thing, or they're all singing. You can deal with that, but it's when one person shouts out louder than the others at the front. That's the one person. Or that whistle,
Sometimes as well, you can bring it on yourself, can't you?
Of course you can. I think he's done a lot of that as well, hasn't he?
So. You look at Ricardo Pachescu. In one of the tournaments, and he was giving it all that, and they just got on top of him.
The thing is, like you say, if you give it, you've got to be able to take
exactly.
it. And that is it.
His next game after that, everyone booed him all the rest, and he walked up the stage with a raving up, and I spoke to him afterwards, and I told him, I said, kiddo, what you got to learn to do, like you just said there, if you give it, you've got to have it. I said, get yourself up there next time up there. I said, put a smile on your face. I said, keep the smile there, win, lose or draw. I said, keep the smile on your face. I said, and win the crowd back. I said, because if you've got them on your back,
there's nothing harder.
I'll tell you what, it's going to make it very, very difficult.
It's very lonely up there.
And it is a lonely place up there for you guys.
Not just for the player who's playing, but I think it was Luke Humphreys who played Pikachu in the Wales.
Yeah.
And obviously
he was two sets up.
And Luke said it's the hardest game he's ever played. Yeah. He said the crowd, even though they were booing Pikachu, it was getting to him. Because you still feel them boos on the stage. They rattle through your bones.
All right, talking of hostile atmospheres, we're going to make it a little bit more positive now. Your favourite venues, what are the greatest ever venues? Because obviously when you think about darts, you think about, Circus Tavern, Ali Pali now, you think about Winter Gardens. For you, what is the greatest?
I love the Winter Gardens. I just think...
I think everyone will say that.
I just think the crowd's right on top of you. It's such an iconic venue. It's not too far from my house.
You know what? I was like, it's local. That's why you like it.
And I think the crowd's always very respectful. The crowd's always very respectful.
It's a different kind of crowd, isn't it?
They always class them as like a darts crowd, a proper darts crowd.
You got a couple of factors there as well. One, it's a long way for me, but but to me, it is the best venue. It's beautiful inside. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's summertime as well, so everyone's in happy mood. Summertime, you got. I don't know about the beach at Blackpool, but I know what you mean. But all joking aside, it's sunshine time. Everyone's in a happy mood, summery holiday mood.
They're on the holidays,
and the crowd there are very much a dark crowd. Yeah. They're not. As I would always say, your Christmas crowd, which is a lot of parties. And, what should we do? Oh, we'll go to darts at Christmas. They're not that. They're particularly booked up. They're now dart fans. Right. And the actual venue is itself iconic. And the other thing for me, personally, is it's legs and not sets. So whoever wins it, you have to win.
Correct.
By winning the most legs, which in the World Championship, that doesn't always work. You can.
What are some of your greatest memories?
Definitely the match. Well, like I said, the Winter Gardens is my favourite venue. I've had some great games on there as well, so that always stands out for me. Obviously beating MVG in the semis. Getting to the final and still losing. I think it was 107 average in the final against Phil. So there's some nice memories there, but there's also some negatives, I suppose.
Okay, right. Last one, greatest nicknames. What springs to mind when you think brilliant nickname? How did you come up with that?
The Power, just with the song and everything that goes around.
Just went, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and he literally was the Power, wasn't he? He was so powerful for so long. That sort of sticks in the back of the mind.
Yeah.
Crafty Cockney for me. It was a pub that Eric C in America, and they thought, I like the name of that with the copper and the Union Jack thing. Crafty Cockney.
Yeah, I'd say both of them as well.
Yeah.
But also mine, I think, as well. Because I should be called No Jackpot Lewis, really, shouldn't I? Well,
Jackpot was good. Any others? Hawaii 501. It's a good one.
Mine's is a good
Went
one.
with the shirt, didn't it?
Yeah, very
exactly,
much so.
exactly.
Diamond
Who
white.
else is there?
Diamond white.
Diamond white.
Diamond white.
It's a cracking little nickname. The asp is obvious.
You sort of want ones that tie everything in, like you say, with a shirt and stuff, don't you? Like,
Rapid Ricky,
Yeah, rapid.
because he's
goes
just,
with him.
he
Yeah.
is rapid, isn't he?
My favourite's probably Masturbates, I think.
Not allowed to have that anymore. Well, that's all for that episode. Let us know what you think and make sure you are following all of the AK Bet social accounts as well. We'll see you next time.